say not even close, and here's why.
Whoa!
Welcome back to the Targeting Podcast. Boys, how we doing today?
We're doing wonderful. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Great, man.
We got a lot to talk about today, so I'm just gonna get right into it. All right?
Yeah,
All
let's
right,
get it. Let's go.
Justin, player of the week.
Player of the week? All right, let's get it. So my player of the week is Nikola Jokic. Man had a 47-point night against two-time defensive player Rudy Gobert. And that's just not easy to do. So he bodied him. He ended up averaging 41, 11, and 5 on the week. The guy went nuts.
And that's a tough Jazz team. That's a tough Jazz team that's been playing stellar games.
Absolutely. They're top 3 seed in the West right now. And I think Denver's the 4th. So, yeah, I mean, Jokic has had a great season. He's playing like an MVP.
So I'm just gonna say it because Justin already said it, but Jokic as well. I mean, there's no reason why he shouldn't deserve it. I mean, 47 points for a big man like that.
Agreed.
Give it to him every day.
Agreed. My player of the week, I was going to go with Jokic, but I'm going to go a different direction. I'm going to go with Beal, just because Beal's been playing. He's been playing out of his mind lately. I know Justin did him last week or the week before, but he's been playing out of his mind, and he's been putting up consistent numbers over 35. I think his average is 35. He just beat a talent, not just him, but I'm going to say mainly him, beat a talented Nets team. And the fact that he doesn't want to leave Washington is just
the loyalty in that man is
just mind-blowing.
DC fans,
I respect
be
it,
happy,
but also,
be proud.
As much as I respect,
I don't know if I should. Go ahead, Justin.
I also feel like he's wasting his prime. But he's being loyal, and I can't knock him for that. I can't knock him for loyalty. So
you can't knock for loyalty, but you also got to say, like, come on.
Respect it or to just kind of give him like a reality pill where it's just like, dude, you have to look at everything you're doing. Like, you're putting up these numbers and you're not winning, at least consistently. So I respect the hell out of it, but I question it immensely just because it's like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, I love what you're doing, but you are a fantastic player that on any other team would probably be like a playoff team. Like, I don't know.
He should be a playoff player, and it hurts to see that he's not gonna be in the playoffs again this year, and who knows about the future. But like I said, you can't knock loyalty. I respect it.
Knock loyalty. But we'll just get right in that Nets Wizards game. So that was a crazy ending. I know. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, that's why you just love the NBA, man. I mean, who the hell would have ever seen that? That's crazy.
You love games that end like that.
Well, if you haven't seen it, Beal comes up, pulls
down
up,
5 with 12 seconds.
Down 5 with like how much was left?
I think it was 12 seconds.
Something like that. Beal comes up, drops a 3. And
a ridiculous 3 from pretty contested on the logo.
Pretty far behind that arc. Far behind that arc.
Smothered.
I believe Joe
Harris. It was Garrison Matthews. Joe Harris on the inbound. Garrison Matthews got the steal.
Yeah.
And then Westbrook made the 3.
And that's another thing for me where I was like that. It was an interesting choice for me for Westbrook to take the 3 because he wasn't necessarily wide open. He had a couple guys coming down on him, but he made the 3 at the end of the day. He's just not known for a 3-making guy, so I would have.
He had his best game of the season that night. He had 41 points, so he played well.
And I would have rather seen Beal make both of the plays, get the team winner. But when we go into that, Russ, I understand he had a great game, 41 points, I believe, if I remember off the top of my head. I don't even know. I think 10 rebounds. I can't remember off the top of my head. Number of assists. He had a great game, but this is my problem with Russ: is you can't have one game like this and expect Beal to have games consistently like this and not help your team win games. Because at the end of the day, you just beat one of the best teams in the league, which is huge. That's huge for you because that's a big pat on the back for you guys. And that also shits on the Nets. The Nets can't be losing games like that. They can't, no matter who you're playing at the end of the day. We've discussed that.
Yeah.
And Russ needs to understand that if you want Beal to stay, if you want to win with this team in the future, because it won't be this season, you cannot come out here and just play Russell Westbrook basketball and then all of a sudden change over and play Bradley Beal basketball and get 80 points combined with Bradley Beal and expect at the end of the day to win games all the time. Because Russell never has games like this. And when he does, he wins the big games, but they end up going right now where they are, 5-13, 5-12. You can't do that.
Yeah.
And that's my problem with Russell Westbrook. He gets the stats and he bumps himself up. He gets himself to look like the all-star because at the end of the day, he ends with a lot of points and a shit ton of assists. But that's not the point. You got to look by game by game. Game by game, you're averaging. Bradley Beal is the better player, and we'll get into the NBA tier list. And that's all I'm saying.
Well, yeah, I think the good thing – here's the thing. The good thing about Beal staying is maybe Russ can work something out. Like maybe they can sort of like figure out their flaws and then sort of like kind of at least get like a winning record or something like that. Do I think will happen? Probably not. But the good news about Beal staying is I hope Beal can influence Russ in the sense that it's like at the end of the day, if you're not winning games, none of this really matters. Like you're not getting anything.
It doesn't.
So
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm hoping for with Beal staying. But Justin, do you want to say?
Yeah, and the only other thing I'll say before we get into our all-star tier list there, but is that the main problem with the Wizards, I think, is as much of a problem as Russell Westbrook is. The problem is Scott Brooks. The guy is he's second to Luke Walton as far as worst coach in the league goes, and he needs to be fired. And the Wizards need to restart because they just don't play defense at all ever. So you can't not play defense. You just can't. So they give up 140 a night. It doesn't matter if they score 130 and Beal puts up 40.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. So
I'll just say my what the fuck moment is this of the week, and it's a two-way thing. I'm not saying the Nets, absolutely blew this game because it was a close game. They had the lead.
Just
it comes
a boneheaded play by Joe Harris.
I know. It just comes down to Beal makes a great play, so you can't really shit on the Nets for that. I mean, no one, the guy's going to make that shot. The Westbrook one. That's where I have the problem with the Nets because Westbrook can't be making threes because he doesn't make threes very often. And you can't be having those boneheaded plays like you just said. And my what the fuck moment also just, really quick includes Westbrook's, you can't just pick and choose when you're going to play the game you want to play. I mean, it seems like he came into this Nets game saying, I want to beat the Nets. I want to show everybody that I'm the best player out here. Me and Beal can win a championship, whatever. That's the attitude he came out with. And he beat the Nets. But you're not going to win a championship. The Nets are going to go to the playoffs, and you're sitting here at home. You're going to be watching them, and you're going to say you beat them? That means nothing because you're not there. So they need the organizational change. That's what I think because Russell Westbrook needs to change his attitude, and Bradley Beal needs to keep his attitude because that's the only way they're going to win games, and that's the only way that they're going to see a profitable season like 2017, 2016 before.
Agreed. And it's one of the things that, like, it kind of highlights what the Nets could face in the playoffs, where it's like, if you think you have this game, like until it's over, you don't have it. So you're making mistakes like this regular season. You can't just not expect that to not happen in the playoffs because it very well could just be a preview of what we will see in the playoffs. So I think it's just, hopefully it's a reality check to the Nets to be like, look, we have to play this game in full. I mean, we literally had a 5-point lead and we gave it up in 4 or 5 seconds.
I mean, I'll tell you right now, the only two players I think that could make a shot like that from the arc multiple times is Damian Lillard and Steph Curry. Game winners on the line. I would rely on those guys to make that shot. So I'm saying if and Bradley Beal, but I'm saying that they're going to play in the playoffs.
Yeah, you're going to play.
If they went to the finals, let's just say the Nets do it. Let's just say, right, hypothetically speaking, they play a Golden State Warriors team who has the experience there, or they play a Damian Lillard team,
make it to the finals,
or they play a Damian Lillard, someone who's going to make that shot. At the end of the day, that's a GG.
Yeah,
but I mean, you can't let that make your defense crumble and make dumb plays after that. That's all I'm going to say on it. Just
agreed.
You got to learn to adapt with these teams.
Agreed. Yeah, no, I definitely agree.
Right on, but
we'll move on to the tier list, but we'll just shout out LaMelo had his first NBA start the other night.
And Fred VanVleet had 54 the other night too.
Yeah.
And he's head rookie right now ahead of Wiseman and Justin. You guys remind me the name.
It's Tyrese Halliburton. He's been looking real nice. Yep. I like him a lot.
All right.
All right.
So we're gonna get into the NBA tier list. If you're not aware, Justin.
All-Star voting is now. All-Stars coming up. Get boys. All-Star game.
All-Star game's coming up, and Justin found a site where we can kind of place people. So I'll just pull it up right now.
Share that screen, boy. There it is. I'm going to move you guys out of the way a little bit just so I can see them.
Yeah.
So I think they just saw our master plan, but whatever. So
All right, so let's just start off with
Do we
team
want to go?
captains.
Do we want to go?
Yeah, we
player
got to
by
run
player?
team captains first. Well, we should do team captains and starters, and then for the reserves and the borderlines, we'll go through them one by one. Let's
Sounds
start
good.
off for captains. I think Wes, we can all be in agreement here that it's got to be LeBron James.
Yeah.
It's
The
got
guy's
to be
still the
LeBron
king.
James. It's always LeBron James because he just has those seasons.
It's got to
So
be
it's gonna be
LeBron. He's still
LeBron
the
James.
king, and until somebody dethrones him, he still has the throne. It's really that simple, if you ask me. I don't know about you guys, but
I am tough on this East now. I
so
might
for the
go
past
with
like 3 straight years, it's been LeBron and Giannis, but I don't think Giannis deserves the.
I'm gonna say I'll start off. I'm gonna say someone that I don't think we would have assumed. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it's gonna be a Celtics player. I mean, I think the Celtics are just an overall team. They don't have that big guy who's gonna come out. I think with the team that's out there right now, I think it's gonna be Embiid maybe.
I agree. I was going to say Embiid too.
I'm going to say Embiid. He's the guy that he has been to this All-Star before. He's got the mentality. I don't like Embiid as a player, but I mean, he's led the 76ers to the stage there right now. I think that's what it's going to be.
I can agree with that. I can get along with that. All right, now let's go West starters. So,
Okay.
do we think AD? Thinking AD?
I think AD will start with LeBron. Wait. Okay. Well, let's go through all of them. Let's talk through all of them.
All right. Do you want to do guards first, and then we'll do front court?
All right. Yeah, we can do guards.
Yeah,
So as far as West guards, we're looking at like Steph, Dame, Luka, Donovan Mitchell. Those are kind of the 4 that could be in there. Only 2 of them get to be in there. I think Steph has to be. I think it has to be Steph Curry. At least one of them.
So. Yeah.
I think Steph has to be one. I think honestly, with the way the Jazz have been playing, I think Donovan's got to be on there.
I like that too. I'm between Donovan and Damian Lillard. I'd say Luka's been playing great, but the Mavericks have been terrible. I don't think Luka can start.
I forgot about Damian Lillard. I think no. See, for me, the Jazz are the 1 seed. I can't say and I love Damian Lillard at the end of the day, but there's a reason the Jazz are the 1 seed. There's a reason. I'm going to say Donovan with the.
I think I'm going to give it to Donovan Mitchell. He's been playing well.
So we'll break the ties here. We'll break the ties.
I like that.
Playing well, and I think you gotta kind of get your team somewhere in order to kind of get this All-Star spot. I think because they're all good individually. I just think, yeah.
So what do we got
Winning
now?
Counts. Winning matters. Winning matters. Now
so
we need 2
now?
bigs.
We got to get. Well,
Jokic has got to be
bigs.
in there. It's got to be
Jokic. Is we're in agreement. Jokic is on there. Jokic right down there on the
Yeah.
left. Right. Jokic is up there.
He has been probably the best. Well, it's actually tough between him and Embiid. The 2 of them, you could definitely. It's a coin flip. Who's the best center in the league?
Oh yeah. I think. Who do we got now? We got another big.
We have one last big to fill there for the West. It could be AD. Who else we got here?
So
Zion,
Kawhi Leonard, Anthony
we also
Davis,
have Zion.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like it's got to be between Kawhi or AD. I don't know what you guys are thinking.
I think AD, honestly.
I think we'll go with AD. I just don't think Kawhi plays enough for me. I don't think Kawhi.
I think Paul George has been arguably just as good as Kawhi. Well, no, Kawhi has been the best player on the Clippers, but Paul George has been great too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's tough, man. You could definitely go either way. I'm not going
to say AD too, because here's another thing. LeBron's going to want AD on that court. AD's going to get the place on that court.
I think AD.
Yeah.
I think
AD will get that place. Let's go to East. I think East is pretty. I'm going to say right off the bat who I think is going to make it in the East. I think Jalen or Jason is making it for the Celtics on the East.
One of them will be a starter.
One of them will be. I can't really tell you who because Jalen is so clutch, but Jason is so consistent.
I will go ahead and say
I'm going to say Jalen.
Switch that. I'd say Jalen. Jason.
I'm going to say Jalen. I'm going to say Jalen.
I'm going to say Jaylen Brown too.
I 100% say Jaylen Brown as well. Jaylen Brown has been the best guard in the East. I can confidently say Jaylen Brown's been the best guard.
It's only because I'm only saying Jalen because Jason had the injury, and also because Jalen has consistently just played stellar defense. He gets those a couple 40-point games now, and
the man's averaging 27. Who the hell would have thought Jaylen Brown? I said, he's been the best guard in the East.
No,
I definitely agree.
Let me kick us off with the second one, who I think we're all in agreement. Averaging, what would you say, 35? Bradley Beal.
35. Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal.
Big Bradley Beal?
Bradley Beal.
I like Bradley Beal. Here's the thing.
The Wizards aren't a winning
between Beal, Harden, and Kyrie. One of those 3 will be in there. It's the matter of they didn't even get Beal an all-star spot at all in the reserves last year because they weren't winning, and he was still averaging 31 last season. He's averaging 35 now. Is that enough to make him a starter?
It shouldn't be on your winning season. It shouldn't be on your winning season. It should be the best player that's on that court. I think it's Beal.
I agree.
I tend to agree, but there's also such a thing as empty stats. If your team isn't winning, For the longest time, Devin Booker never got an All-Star spot because the Suns were
All right,
ass. Zach LaVine's never been an All-Star because the Bulls are ass. He's averaging 27 though. So
let's finish off the starters then, and we'll come back to that other guard.
Okay.
We'll come back.
All right.
Okay.
So
All right. So as far as bigs go,
So we need one big, don't we? Because Embiid is going to be actually no.
So Embiid is a captain. So we still need 2 guards, 2 front court players.
Okay, all right.
Kevin Durant's got to be in there. He's averaging 30.
Yeah.
Kevin
I think
Durant
Kevin
Kevin Durant will definitely at the end of the day make it.
Okay.
And then how many are we gonna have multiple nets
I'm trying to think.
there?
I don't think Giannis or Simmons is. I don't think Giannis or Simmons are at the level right now for me.
Honestly, I think it's either Harden or Kyrie. I do think one of them makes it, and I think it's
for the guard spot.
I think it's Harden.
I think it's Harden.
Yeah, because Kyrie missed a lot of time when he was just not talking to the media or whatever.
Kyrie is clutch, but he isn't playing the games that he should be playing.
He's averaging 28, but I feel like he's only played 8 games total. So yeah, I agree with Harden probably.
I feel like
over Beal.
I don't want to put him over Beal. I am gonna put Beal as a reserve though for sure.
No doubt, but
let's come back to man. Justin. None of this
I need to start Bradley Beal.
It's nothing's in stone right now. Let's come back to it though. Let's just
once everybody's on too. So but as far as bigs, we need one more big. Giannis has to be it. There's no way Giannis won't be.
Giannis will be the big.
Yeah, there's no way he won't be a starter.
I feel like somebody on that Pacers team has got to make it on the reserves.
All right. Do we want to go?
Should we go one by one now?
I think we should go one by one now.
So we'll go one.
DeAndre Ayton. I would say he's been good, but honestly, I'm gonna have to say not even close. He's been good, but not good enough.
Not even close. I don't
know about you, John. He's been good, and I do like him as the big man to play alongside Devin Booker in Phoenix. I think he's got a high ceiling, but he's been good, just not quite good enough to be an all-star.
What about Bam? I think Bam's borderline.
It's either borderline or reserves. I'm sure a lot of Miami fans would say he definitely deserves a reserve.
Let's throw him on borderline right now. Let's throw him on borderline right now. Because again, let's throw him on borderline.
We can come back to it.
The Heat are struggling right now.
They dealt with a lot of COVID, so that sucks.
Yeah, they did.
Tyler Hero missed a lot of time.
I think Blake Griffin's. I think he's a reserve.
Oh my God, could not disagree more. Honestly, I think he's not even close. He's been absolute cheeks. He's been the worst player on the Pistons, I think.
Not even borderline?
He doesn't even deserve to be starting. I would not even say borderline, but hey, I'm not going to be mad at you if you put him.
I'm going to break the tie right now. I'll break the tie right now. I love Blake Griffin as a guy. He's one of the most respectful guys on that court and funniest guys to watch play. But he has not had the season to make the All-Star list.
Yeah, that's fair. All right.
Bradley Beal automatically put him on the East Reserve because we're going to change him up.
I agree. Definitely East Reserve. No doubt.
I think Simmons will be a reserve too.
I think Simmons will be a reserve.
I'm not going to argue with that now.
What's he? We'll put him on there.
He doesn't. His stat line is never pretty. It's just that the all NBA type defense, the playmaking, the rebounding. And
Embiid. The way him and Embiid play on that court together is what that team is doing.
We can obviously once everybody's on the list, we can come back and move pieces. But for now, I'm okay with Simmons as a reserve.
What about Devin Booker? Reserve?
I think he's a West Reserve. I definitely think Devin Booker's a West Reserve. The guy's a certified bucket. I don't know if you guys saw that shot against Dallas the other night. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This guy he's just a bucket. He's just so clutch. Like at the end of the game, I want the ball in his hand, man. Malcolm Brogdon. Malcolm Brogdon has been great for Indiana. The Indiana Pacers are just such a well-rounded team. I don't know which one of them deserves to be an all-star. If any, they're a good team. I don't know who's the best player on Indiana. Can somebody tell me who the best player is? I don't know.
I think he's
so well spread.
Go ahead, John.
I was just going to say, it is well spread. I'd say he definitely is a guy that deserves the all-star position. But again, you have so many Pacers guys that are trying to fight for that spot here.
It's like Brogdon, Sabonis, and Turner because Oladipo got traded. So I don't know which one. It's not going to be Turner, despite the fact that he's averaging 4 blocks a game. The guy might win Defensive Player of the Year, but he won't be an all-star. Sabonis or Brogdon, if either.
Is Sabonis even on here? Is Sabonis even on here, though?
He will be. Yeah, I think he is. There he is.
Okay.
And too.
Well, only one of them's going to make it. Only one of them's going to make it, and I would rather go with Sabonis.
I'm going Brogdon borderline.
I'll go borderline.
go
as well.
borderline.
I don't
All
even
right,
know
I'll-
if any Indiana Pacer makes it, to be honest, which would suck. But it's just the way they
Well,
play.
they're an overall team. They're not an all-star team.
Exactly. One of the last ones left in the league, to be honest. And it's fun to watch them, but I don't know if any of them get an all-star shot. We'll see.
I think
Jimmy Butler, I don't think Jimmy Butler has been an all-star this year. I'd say
Not even
borderline.
close.
I say
Not even
borderline.
close. I'd say not even close.
Maybe. Honestly,
We can throw
he's
him on
not played a
borderline.
lot too.
We can
He's
throw
been
him
off
on
the floor a
borderline,
lot.
but I will not. I don't think he will make it.
CJ McCollum.
CJ McCollum, he was absolutely hooping before he got injured, and he
Yeah.
probably would have been an all-star, but now he's injured. I don't think it'll happen for him.
It's not even close. It's not. He's not going to do it. He's. I
No, I gotta go borderline.
I'll
I
go
gotta go at least borderline. He's been
Borderline?
hooping.
All right,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Chris Paul.
CP3.
Okay.
I think I give him borderline again. I just don't.
I would say borderline.
Again, we can move, but I think he'll go.
He's
low.
definitely not an all-star, but
Yeah.
Let's try and get through them, and then we can always come back to them. And
Yeah.
move them around.
Damian-
Damian Lillard, put him on the reserve for the West.
Rest
Put him on
reserve.
the reserve. Put
Yeah,
him on the
no
reserve.
doubt. No doubt.
DeMar DeRozan.
That one's tough because he's been playing great, and the Spurs are still in the playoff picture somehow when nobody in the world would have thought that they would be. He's been playing good, man. I don't know. I don't know if he
I might
can
give it
be
to him.
an all-star. I might give
He's
it to him too,
averaging.
man.
He's averaging 20, so almost 20. So
I'll probably give it to him because they
give
still.
him the reserve. Give him the reserve.
Give it to him for now, and we might have to pull him out, depending because
Because we do have
be
a lot of other
tough-
guys in here. We have a lot of.
They're
other
going to be
guys.
tough decisions ahead. Boys.
Victor Oladipo.
Borderline.
I'm gonna borderline.
I like the way he's been playing in Houston, though. And let me tell you what, that Houston team is 7-3, if not better, since they made that James Harden trade.
Yeah.
And John Wall, Victor Oladipo, Christian Wood, and Boogie. I like that. They all got a chip on their shoulder. They all are
do.
trying to. Every night they go out there hooping big time, and I like it. I like that team.
They're all out there to play.
D'Lo.
I don't think they'll be a playoff team, but I do like Houston.
D'Lo.
Honestly, man, not even close for
Not
me,
even
bro.
close for me.
I don't think D'Lo.
Why is he not playing better?
Yeah,
Like his usage rate should be through the roof on that terrible Minnesota
Yeah,
team,
I
and he
agree.
doesn't. It's not. Like I'd say not even. I don't even think he's averaging 20, which is crazy. So I'd say not even close.
Andre Drummond, I think not even close. I don't know if that's is that up for debate?
All right, here's my thing
He's
with
just
that.
doing the same every fucking year. Andre Drummond comes in and averages 14 and 14 or something like that. Like he just is.
He's a player that, for me, could honestly make this reserve lineup every single year if he just plays great, phenomenal basketball. And he's gonna
Seems like
now he wants to
sometimes
move to the Nets,
motivation.
and now he wants to move to the Nets, and that motivational team is gonna be tough if he goes to the Nets. So I'm gonna say not even close with Jerry on this one, but
All right, yeah. So then, that's the majority right there. I'm not mad about that. De'Aaron Fox.
De'Aaron Fox.
I think De'Aaron Fox has been playing great. I don't know if I can give him the reserve spot.
I think I'm gonna give him
If-
borderline.
I'll give him
put him at
borderline
borderline
for
for now, but I'm keeping him in mind because he's been absolutely great.
Gordon Hayward.
Gordon Hayward.
all right, Gordon Hayward has actually had a season.
He has.
kinda had
I'm
a
happy
season.
for him. I'm happy for him because he was
I don't think
pretty.
he-
You could tell he was frustrated being in Boston as a fourth option, and now he's basically the number one option, and he's flourishing. I'm happy to see it.
Let's
But-
throw him on borderline right now because we want to make sure we pick our reserve spots carefully. Let's throw him on borderline because then we'll have to root through each one.
Jeremy
We
Grant.
definitely are going to have to come back to the reserves once we're done all this, obviously.
Who is it?
Jeremy Grant
Who's it?
has
Jeremy
been
Grant.
great.
Grant.
It's another thing about winning, though. Pistons are terrible.
Not even close.
No, okay. It can't be not even close. It's definitely borderline. He's averaging 24. He's
I
definitely
know,
borderline.
but it's not. They're not. You all right?
He's
fine.
been great, though. It has to be borderline at least. It has to be
Alright.
borderline.
All right, we'll give him borderline. We'll give him
Brandon Ingram. I don't know. But that's tough. That's tough.
Who's been better for the Pelicans, boys? Zion or Bi? Who do you think?
Zion?
I think Zion. I think Zion is
I
going to
can
get.
agree with that.
I think
think
Zion. I think Zion will get the reserves.
I don't think Zion's doing anything really special. I think Bi's more like versatile, and you can use.
And I
him
mean, at
more.
the end of the game, the ball's in Bi's hands
But-
because Zion's not a shot creator. But I do think Zion is probably would get the nod over Bi. Bi's I'd say borderline for sure,
Yeah.
but I don't think he can get a reserve spot.
Yeah.
He was also an all-star last year, so for that reason, I feel like he got his nod, and now
Yeah.
he doesn't need it this year.
Jamal
Jamal
Murray.
Murray. You know the thing about Jamal Murray is that I was just looking at his career stats today, and for the past 3 straight seasons, he's averaged 18, and he's averaging 18 again this year. And you think he's the type of guy that could take that last jump. Like, he should just be a 21, 22 point per game player. And what he did in the bubble last year was ridiculous. But he just is stuck at that 18. I don't really know why.
I just
I'd
don't
say
think-
borderline too. He's definitely not a
Close.
reserve. I'd say borderline.
Yeah.
That sucks because I really thought he'd be that guy to take that jump. But yeah, no, I'd say borderline.
Ja.
Ooh,
Yeah.
man, this
I
is
love
another.
Of Ja.
This is another
Memphis
one
is
thing.
like the fucking
Memphis-
Grizzlies are like must-watch TV, man. Like even with that, they lost Ja for like 3 weeks and had like they didn't have Jaren Jackson or Ja, and we're still winning games. And are
They've been
still in the
sitting.
playoff picture.
They've
Like,
been sitting on this playoff picture for a little bit. I'm gonna say, all right. Again, the borderline's probably gonna get stacked up, but we gotta then root out between not even close and then reserve. But I'll say borderline for now. But it depends on who we put in those reserves that will give them the spot.
facts. Borderline.
John
Wall?
borderline.
Toss
He's
for borderline for me. I don't know
He's
about
been
you
playing
boys.
well, but
I'll give John Wall the borderline. And let me just say, right after you throw John Wall up there, put Jason Tatum right in the East reserves.
Yes,
yeah. No.
definitely.
There's no reason why, and that may be a biased decision as well. But there's no reason why Jalen and Jason should both make it every season.
It is. I don't think it's biased. Yeah, no, I definitely agree.
Pat.
Karl Anthony Towns, man. Let me just say before we get into him, I'm just praying for this guy. He has had the worst year ever. I mean, COVID has hit him and his family worse than anybody. I mean, hit between his mom dying from COVID and then him getting it himself. And I heard he got hit by a car. Like this guy's had a horrible year.
I think his grandma died too. I think he lost
Seven family members.
Yeah, he lost a lot of people.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm praying for him. I hope he gets back on the court soon. He hasn't played much this year. I have to say not even close because he barely played. But
it's not even close because of, I think, mentality-wise, he's taken a break from the game.
External issues. I don't think.
Yeah, external issues, and it's not on his game because this man would leave the Wolves up to a better place right now if they had him on that court.
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard, obviously West Reserve.
Here's a
You're
tough
gonna
one
get
now.
Walker.
Kemba,
not even close. I'm sorry, not even close.
He's not had the season.
I love K-Walk. He just wasn't healthy, and since he's been back, he hasn't been great. So I have to say, not
he's
even close.
Helped, but Jason and Jalen have been taking the court.
He'll turn it around though, no doubt about it.
Oh,
if you ask me. He'll turn it around.
Yeah,
Chris Middleton.
Ooh. I feel like he's in that scenario where we put him in borderline for now and then come back to him.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know about you boys.
He's one of those guys. He's one of those guys.
It's close.
Kyle Lowry.
Oh boy. Well,
I'm between borderline and not close, honestly.
I'm gonna say not close. The Raptors have had a very strugglesome season.
Yeah,
I mean, they are at the 9 seed. They're at the 9 seed and they're climbing, but
they're finally starting to win.
Kyle Lowry's a great player, but he doesn't do anything that would make me want to put him on an all-star team, if that makes any sense. Like, I would love to have him on my team. I think he's very beneficial as a player. But in terms of an all-star, I just don't see it personally. That's why
I wouldn't want him on the all-star.
Kevin Love.
And since he was there last year too, he's probably not going to get it this year. Kevin Love, not close.
Not close.
Kyrie, I'm gonna put him as a reserve just because.
I'm gonna put him as a reserve because he's gonna get the reserve spot.
He's gonna get
the Nets have 3 all-stars on the team. There's no reason why he's not gonna get the all.
I definitely agree. Zach LaVine, put him in the all-star reserve right now.
Put him in the reserve.
This man's been disrespected for too fucking long.
This guy's had a great season. And what are the
27 points per game for like the 3rd straight year? This guy's been so disrespected for way too long. I can't handle it anymore.
And
he's such a bucket.
What are they, the 10 seed? They're fighting with Toronto and Charlotte to get that 8 seed. I mean, Jesus, There's no reason why he shouldn't have it.
And
they keep going up and down.
Even with the way the schedule is working this year, where it's 72 games and then the play-in between the 9 and 10 seeds at the end, even if they finish in the top 10, they'll have a chance at the playoffs. And I'm excited to see Zach LaVine playing in games that really count towards the end.
A crazy thing for me, completely off topic, crazy thing for me, but the Heat, just the way they have fallen, just crazy.
Like I said, they've been slammed with COVID. Probably the worst in the league.
They have, and I just feel bad because that's a team that should be easily on that 6 or even higher.
Yeah. LaMarcus Aldridge. Nah, I mean, I feel like this guy's ageless. Jesus Christ, he's still putting up decent numbers, but I gotta say, not even close.
The fact that you're saying his name, the guy's been playing since I was fucking born. I was in the Jesus Christ.
And since at the moment we've given DeMar the nod, I don't feel bad about putting LaMarcus down there.
Yeah.
Luka, put him in the reserves.
Yeah, put him in the reserves.
No doubt.
Miles
Turner, like I said, the man, I hope he wins Defensive Player of the Year. He probably won't because he's not a big enough name, but he's averaging like 4 blocks a game. It's ridiculous. But he's not going to be an all-star.
He's not going to be an all-star, so I'm going to say no.
Close. Not close.
Yeah.
And it's not because he doesn't deserve it. It's just he's not the player.
Yeah,
Paul
and
George,
I don't think he's averaging much over like 11 or 12
Yeah,
points, too.
Paul
Paul
George.
George, man, I gotta say, put him in the reserves.
I was gonna say put him in the reserves.
Put him in
John,
the reserves.
disagree, but
Nope, I agree. Put him in the
How many
reserves.
do we have in the reserves now?
Six,
Okay.
6 and 5. So
Kristaps,
I'm gonna say, all right, let's hold on now because the West, Kristaps or Rudy Gobert. Let's just look at that right now. I think Rudy
I
Gobert.
think Kristaps Porzingis, for me, Porzingis has been not even close. He's been terrible since he came back.
I agree. I just can't get behind that.
The Mavericks look awful.
I think Gobert. Do you guys think Gobert will get the nod? I think he might.
I think Gobert will get. I think Gobert put him up there for me.
You think he'll get the reserve, Justin?
So if we're looking through the list here, and I'm not even looking at the borderlines, but I would honestly, I don't know. I'd put him at borderline and come back.
I'll put him at borderline and then we'll discuss.
All right.
We'll get back to him because we
he's
still have
he's
Zion
just a strong defensive player. I mean, he's just so.
Julius Randle.
He's been great, but he's not going to be an all-star. Borderline.
Borderline, yeah.
He has been really good though. I don't know what exactly his numbers are, but
I'm going
he has been
to
hooping.
say it. I'm going to say it right now. He's probably going to be put on borderline, but Russ, I just think not even close, just by the way the Wizards have been playing. Not even.
I agree. I feel personally like not even close, but put him at borderline because of his numbers.
Put him at borderline, but you can't have 140-point game and expect to be an all-star. That's just me.
Absolutely not. He should. If he's in this all-star game, I'll start a riot. He won't be though. He won't be. So it won't be a problem.
Like we need any more of those in this year, huh?
Exactly.
Sabonis.
It's the same thing with Indiana, man. Like I can't put him. Sabonis as
put him in borderline.
I can't do it.
Put him in borderline for now. We're gonna have to go through Indiana, and I think we're gonna have to probably put all of Indiana in not even close.
Here's the thing.
Colin
Sexton. I'm gonna say not even close, and here's why.
Whoa!
All
right. You got to say here's why.
Yeah, explain it.
He's had a couple good games. He's not having a bad season, but I just don't think you could consider him personally.
Not having a bad season. This guy's having a breakthrough year. 25 points a game.
Agreed. But I think if his fine, I'll put him at borderline, but
definitely borderline. Put some respect on this man's name.
We're going to have to root out the guys we think that shouldn't deserve the spot because it's going to come down to the guys that we think are going to be the toughest ones to decide in that borderline.
SGA, baby. I love SGA, but I got to say borderline. OKC hasn't been good enough.
Yeah.
I'd even say not even
Pascal Siakam. I'm going to say between
the Raptors just haven't. I mean, he's a borderline guy, but with the way the Raptors are playing and.
No, I know. I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah, but I'm between borderline and not even close. Whatever.
I say not even close. I'll say not even close. Let's just get a guy out of the. Let's get a guy out of the borderline.
Trae
Young. Oh, I forgot about Trae Young.
Yeah.
I might put him at borderline just because.
At least borderline, if not in the reserves. I don't know.
Toss him in borderline.
It's hard to believe that Trae Young was an all-star starter last year, man.
Yeah.
Well, he had a season. That's the reason.
He did. I mean, he's basically putting up the same numbers. Yeah, I think a few points less.
But you're being outshined by some better. He's being outshined by some other guys on that.
Yeah, a lot of more people came to the East this year. So Vucevic, no.
I got not even close.
Nope.
Zion. I think
Zion, borderline. All right, so let's go through who we think is definitely not making it for the borderlines. Because we have to just root out those guys because we can't pick on because there's so many here. I'm gonna start right off the bat, and I'm gonna say Jimmy Butler, throw him in, not even close. I don't think he's been having the season. I don't think he'd have been having the season. I would pick Bam over Jimmy in the situation. So I'll say Jimmy is my first opt out. If you guys agree.
So are we moving people back down? Are we moving people down to not even close or moving people up to the reserves?
I think it'd be better just to move up people.
Well, we can move people up, but let's pick who we think stays in that borderline. Or at least move. Okay. I think Jimmy should move down. I think Jimmy should.
You can move Jimmy down if you want. Jerry, if you agree, you can move down if you want. I'm not going to argue with that. He hasn't been on the floor much. But
I think he should move down, Jerry. But I won't move very many guys down.
It's tough. It's tough to move a name like that. But I
know he is a big name. He was arguably Finals MVP last year. So
yeah,
there were talks though.
Let's keep him.
I'm just gonna keep him.
I'll say right now, I think all the Indiana Pacers guys should stay right at borderline.
I agree. I don't think any of them deserve the nod. As good as they've been,
that's a 2-1, Jerry. I'm sorry if you disagree, but
that's fine. So all right, so you all Indiana guys, we're going not even close.
No. I'm not saying
no. They stay at borderline.
I don't want to move anybody down.
They can't go up. Is my
let me ask you. Who do you as your last West reserve? Who would you have as your last West reserve?
I would go with. Oh Jesus, this is tough. I'm
So
between
it's basically Zion,
Gobert.
Rudy Gobert,
Trey.
Brandon Ingram. Those
Actually,
are kind
no,
of the three for the
Trey won't
West. Trey's in
even
the
be-
East. Trey's in the
Trey's in the
East.
East. I'm sorry, Trey's in the East.
So for the one spot, it's basically Zion, Bi, or Rudy Gobert, essentially, unless you're thinking of CP3 or something, or Ja too,
Or CJ.
or CJ. But I just think because of the injury, CJ is kind of ineligible, unfortunately, because CJ been probably the best of all those names I just said. But I think
I would
put
put CJ if he could play it, but I think honestly with the way again Rudy Gobert is.
I think it's
always,
oh my god! I just know
Rudy
the way the
Gobert is
NBA
always-
works. It's going to be Zion. The way the NBA works, they want to make the money. They want Zion. They're probably going to sell his also.
But Rudy Gobert, in my opinion, is the guy who is on that court and deserves that seat.
I don't think Gobert will make it personally, just because
Gobert was there last year too, which probably doesn't help his odds.
Yeah, that's true. Let's go Zion. I'll go Zion then. If you guys
I
want.
don't know if I'm happy with that though. I mean, I'm okay with either. What are you saying, Jerry?
I don't think Gobert.
Ja too. There's Ja, but oh my God,
The
Ja.
Grizzlies are the best team of the remaining players left.
I
besides Rudy.
I like Ja, but they got Dame there. I think they'd be more likely to go with Bi or Zion.
Well, they need another big, don't they? In that reserve.
I don't know if I don't know if they need one, but I think they'll lean to one.
It's gonna be Zion.
I think it's gonna be Zion, just because.
Zion.
I don't know that I'm ready to give it to him. I don't know that he's really deserved it, but just based on the way things are going to work out, I think he'll get
All
it.
right, let's go with right
So
away.
we have two players left for the East.
2 players left. I think you can put.
I think Trae Young probably.
I think you can put Trey.
Spot.
I think you can put
I
Trey.
think you can put
I think
Trey.
you can put Trey. I think you can put
Yeah.
Trey. And here's my thing now. I'm gonna say right now because we got to just get this one out of the way because this one's bugging me because Gordon Hayward has had a good season. A much better season than in years past. And he's really shaped up. He's had kind of a comeback season for himself, at least. And the Hornets have been, they're fighting for that 8 seed still. Do we give him that or are we going to keep him at borderline?
Here's the thing.
I will agree with whatever you guys say because I think he's one of those borderline guys, I think, at the end of the day. But
Here's the thing. I don't know who I'm going to give this last spot to.
This is close because we're looking at Jeremy Grant, Gordon Hayward, Colin Sexton, Chris Middleton. Those are kind of the 4.
I don't think Jeremy Grant gets it.
I agree.
I don't think Jeremy Grant gets it. I think we're on agreement. Russ is not even coming close.
Yeah, I'm not even.
I'm gonna give it to Sexton. I vote Sexton right now. I vote Sexton. That's my.
I don't think
Jerry's trying to put him in not even close.
Here's the
I vote Sexton though.
Wait a minute. You have Kyrie, you have Zach LaVine, and you have Trae Young. There's close to zero chance that I'll give you Sexton, but you have to take out Trae or Zach or Kyrie.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there. It probably has to be a front court player.
I'll take out Kyrie and put Sexton in.
They're not going
to. You guys want to make that move,
though? Nah.
All right.
NBA won't. Just because the NBA won't do that.
It's tough.
I know the NBA won't do it. I think they should,
like
but I know they won't.
I feel like Brooklyn's probably guaranteed their big 3 all getting them.
Who do we got?
As far as if it's going to be a front court player, then it's between Middleton and Hayward, which it probably is anyways. Or Jeremy Grant obviously is still a front court player, but like you said, the
I don't think. I think Jeremy Grant will make it with the way his team.
Honestly, man, I could see just because it's the Milwaukee Bucks and they're always good and it's Giannis that they could give it to Chris. But I'm ready to give it to Gordon Hayward. I'm ready to give it to
feel like you need to put.
Bam is great too.
There needs to be one Hornets. There needs to be one Hornets guy on that lineup. The Hornets have had a pretty stellar season right now for what they've had to come back from.
The Hornets have definitely been better than people thought they would be.
I want to say. I think I want Hayward up there. I think Chris again. When you have like a Chris and Giannis and then a Ben Simmons and Embiid, it's the same thing. They want to put guys from the same team up there. They do. They always do. They always want to keep guys together. I mean, you want to make it interesting.
Okay.
I'll put. What's Bam's numbers? Tell me Bam's numbers.
Bam's averaging 29 and 5 on 60% from the field.
What's
pretty damn good.
What's Hayward?
Hayward's averaging 24. And Hayward 24, 5, 23, 5, and 3. Oh boy!
But here's the thing: does it really? I mean, you guys know more so than me, but the team's records now, does that come into play here more so too?
I mean, yeah, the Hornets are better than Miami,
Hornets are
and the
better.
Hornets just beat Miami. I'm ready to give it to Gordon Hayward. I'm sorry.
I'll give it to Gordon. All
right, that beats
I
me.
agree, I agree. And then you got to scroll up, Jerry, because I think there's one more change I need to make. I don't know if you guys agree too, because it's obviously the majority gets to pick, but I think that James Harden and Bradley Beal should be switched as far as starting goes.
I will agree with you.
I don't know if you agree, Jerry. I know you. I know you
Look,
might not, Jerry.
look,
You got
look,
and Jerry,
Jerry,
if you don't, talk to me about it, and I might change my mind.
Okay,
Jerry, if you don't, I will change my mind too. But I just think Bradley Beal deserves it more at the end of the day.
You can stay with your predictions. Again, majority rules. Here's why I say that Harden will stay there.
I know he will stay there at the end. I know he will.
Here's why I'll say that. I think Beal on a team is better than Harden, personally. But you have to recognize what this is. It's the All-Star game. They just score. Okay, that's all
It's just shooting. It's just shooting. It's no defense.
So while I think Beal's having a better season than Harden is, I think Harden's going to be a better All-Star player, if that makes any sense, than Beal would be.
And he's got Durant out there too.
Which is why and he's got Durant out there.
Come on, Justin. Now I see his point. He's got Durant out there.
So,
and
you know what? Majority rules, Harden will stay, but I can't change my mind.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, Harden stays.
I want to give it to Beal. I think Beal's having a better season than Harden is, because you have to remember the whole bullshit with Harden at the beginning of the season. Like, no one's going to overlook that.
No, I can't forget that. That's my reasoning. If Harden were on Brooklyn the whole year and putting up the 25 and 10 that he is, I would be okay with him. But the fact that he hasn't even been there for a few weeks and he pulled all that shit in Houston, he's not been on the floor enough in Brooklyn for me to give that.
Here's the thing: it's the NBA. It's an all-scoring game, so they're going to pick guys that are going to score the ball all the time. I'm not saying Bradley Beal won't, but we both know that James Harden year in and year out does. He's always there. He always gets here. He's with Kevin Durant now out there. I'm not going to disrespect Beal. Beal is definitely must get the result.
I got a question for you, Justin. Right? They're picking teams, right? Embiid's picking.
I believe so. Well, if he was the captain, yeah. No fucking ways Embiid taking James Harden over Bradley Beal, though.
Wait, so
here's my thing. We're talking about the Eastern Conference starters. How many games has James Harden played in the East? 7? 8? This is about the East.
I think Beal might get picked by Embiid if Embiid's the captain.
That's what I'm saying. I think anybody in the East would probably take Beal over Harden.
I'll tell you right now, if Kevin Durant is the captain, which I don't think it will happen, but if Kevin Durant is the captain, then you better believe that Harden and Kyrie are both getting on that lineup.
KD could be the captain too, so
I'll say Beal
over 30.
But if we're not moving Embiid, I'm probably going to move if majority rules Beal to Harden.
All right, let's move.
Here's why.
Assuming that Embiid is the captain. Assuming Embiid is the captain.
Assuming Embiid's the captain, Embiid knows what it's like to be on a team that's not winning all the time and to play pretty well.
And he also respects a guy with loyalty.
So, and that's what I'm saying. I think at the end of the day, Embiid will be able to relate to Beal more, and I think he'll pick. I think if KD has it, then it's Harden and Kyrie. But I might move Beal. I'm going to move Beal if that's the case.
All right.
That's the thing with me. I like how the players get to pick, but at the end of the day, I think there's got to be some system where they pick the guy who deserves that spot. I don't know even how the captain spot works, but I just don't think Kevin Durant should get the captaincy. But I know he probably does.
So for everyone at least watching, look at
if you're listening on Spotify or something, we want to run through it.
Yeah, we'll run through it.
So I'm not going to.
So you go ahead, Jerry.
I'm not going to go over borderline or not even close, guys.
No, just the starters and reserves and stuff.
But our two team captains for the West, it's going to be LeBron, and for the East, it's going to be Embiid. The West starters, there's 4 of them, so we're going with Stephen Curry, Donovan Mitchell, Nikola Jokic, and Anthony Davis. The East starters are going to be Jaylen Brown, KD, Bradley Beal, and Giannis. The West reserves, there's 7 of them. We got Devin Booker, DeMar DeRozan, Damian Lillard, Kawhi Leonard, Luka Doncic, Paul George, and Zion Williamson. And then for the East reserves, also 7, we're going Ben Simmons, Jason Tatum, Kyrie Irving, Zach LaVine, James Harden, Trae Young, and Gordon Hayward. Boys, it was a pleasure doing that.
Make sure you keep that and save that just so that we have that for a post.
We'll do.
Yes, sir. I feel very good about that list. That was a lot of fun.
I feel very good. It was a very hard list to make, though. Very hard list to make.
Agreed.